This is something that I wrote a few years ago, and what I wanted to do was I wanted to rewrite L.A.'s story. It's a movie. Uh, I don't know if it was written by Steve Martin, but it was like it's or just he directed it. I'd have to check on that. But I liked the movie. It was a very funny movie, but I wanted to see if I can rewrite it. And so this is what I wrote several years ago. Good evening, America. This is Mike from Chicago. I'm officially embarking on a rewrite of LA's story, starring Steve Martin and Daryl Hannah as you will remember. Um, Wait a minute. What did it see? The original. Okay, so I've decided to rewrite the movie for Steve Martin and Daryl Hannah, and also to incorporate some plot elements from some of Steve Martin's films. Also, starring in the movie will be myself and Winona Ryder. Okay, I'll just start writing the movie. Scene one: we are in Steve Martin's L.A. condo and having a few drinks. It's me, Winona Ryder, Daryl Hannah, and Steve Martin. Now that would be a fun and interesting assembly of people, wouldn't it? Picture this. We're all having fun and talking when all of a sudden the Steve Martin character from Roxanne appears from out of the abstract and archetypal realm wherein the movie exists. I'm going to name the character Jack for the sake of the movie. So now I'm going to get my Steve Martin on. Hey, look, guys, it's my character from Roxanne. He seems to be just have materialized in the living room of my condo. How did you get here, Jack? I'm the archetypal entity that exists suspended within the movie. You see, Steve, when actors such as yourself give a performance that is delivered in a manner that is in complete consonance with the character that was written for the actor, a true archetype is formed on a plane of existence that is both real and abstract. This is what is called acting. There's a huge difference between acting and reciting lines. Acting involves a complexity of numerous sensations whereby the actor truly inhabits the feelings, emotions, desires, needs, angers, fears, and motivations of the character he portrays. When this is fully achieved, this is true acting. And both the actors and the movie they have created are forever beautifully suspended in a plane of existence where real movies exist. Both the movie and the actors in it become real in the abstract and have the ability to cross back and forth from this abstract reality to the material reality and back again. Wow, Jack, it's good to know that I've created you in an abstract plane of existence. Come and visit me anytime. I will. What are you guys drinking? We're drinking Grolsch Lager imported from Holland. Do you want some? Sure, Steve, I'll have some of that. Hey, Winona, it's great to see you. It's great to see you, Jack. I love the movie Roxanne and love Steve Martin's performance in the movie. I'm glad to see that he created you as an archetype. Oh, thanks, Winona. You look very happy with Mike. I love to see a beautiful romance. Your romance seems so real to me that it may have been preordained and predestined before the birth of time itself. It was preordained and predestined before the birth of time itself. That's right, Jack. Our romance was preordained and predestined before the birth of time itself. I'm happy to see Mike Meyer and Winona Ryder in a beautiful romance. But what do I get out of this? You're a very eligible bachelor, Steve. Do you have a girl for me, Mike? Yeah. I'll talk to you about it later. Okay, I'm just trying to find the dialogue that would be appropriate for my YouTube stream. That would account for the pause. Yeah, Steve, I'm sitting right next to Daryl Hannah. Did that ever occur to you? Did that even occur to you that you could try to fix us up together? I don't think you're in her league, Steve. You don't think I'm in Daryl Hannah's league, Mike? No, yeah, I think that would be a good match. Steve Martin and Daryl Hannah. Sounds good to me. Why not? Yeah. Unless she's dating somebody else, in which case, then I guess not. Yes, Steve. I agree that. Let's see. See, the script that I wrote for LA Story started out really good. Then I just made it kind of ridiculous at some point. Okay. There was some pretty good stuff I wrote here, and this green notebook has some great stuff. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, LA Story, scene 1. So what I did was listen to this. Good evening, America. This is Mike from Chicago. I would like to announce this evening that I decided to write another version of my rewrite of LA Story in tandem with my rewriting of the original movie. This version of LA Story will be called LA Story in Parallel. It will also star me, Winona Ryder, Steve Martin, and Daryl Hannah. The reason that I'm calling it LA Story in Parallel is that it'll be an alternative narrative to the other script. It will be a representation of the events that happened in my rewrite of LA Story as if they were happening on a parallel level plane of existence. Both versions of the movie will exist in the realm where archetypes are formed and where actors and movies become real in the abstract. Okay, here we go. Let's start LA Story in Parallel. We are once again in Steve Martin's LA condo. Steve Martin, with his right hand arm around Daryl Hannah, both of them are drinking champagne. At the window is Mike Meyer and Winona Ryder. The two couples are both discussing domestic and work-related issues when all of a sudden, Steve grabs the attention of everybody in the room. I have an announcement to make, people. I am constructing a new mall. Really, Steve? It's a big project. Where are you going to get the funding? I've been elected as the new city planner here in LA, and I spoke with the mayor. He decided to allocate some of LA's tax dollars to the mall, thinking that it would be a great economic opportunity. The rest of the funding will be provided by private investors. That's terrific, Steve. Will really anything unique about the mall? Yes, Winona, there will. Does everybody miss the way malls used to be? I sure do, Steve. I miss the bookstores, music stores, and video stores. Malls used to be a lot more fun. Places like Walden Books, Suncoast Video, and Tower Records were great. I also miss some of the great restaurants such as Burgerberg Station. Now they just have really bad places in the food court. Precisely, Mike. I want to construct a mall that has all these facilities. I think life was better in the 80s, and I want to bring people back to that. We can bring people back to places like Woolworth and Blockbuster Video. As well, that will only rent VHS tapes. That's great, Steve. I miss that so much. Black people see that. So, wait a minute. Maybe I should start writing more LA story dialogue. I could be writing for hundreds of years if I had like several lifetimes to live. I could just write and write and write and write and write and write. Let's see, do I have any more dialogue for this? Trying to find more dialogue for my LA story. Did I write it? Oh, scene 2. Steve Martin, Mike Meyer went on a ride in a conference room full of executives at an investment firm meet to discuss Steve's plans for his new mall. An executive named Jack approaches Steve. So, Steve, when would you like to begin construction of your new mall? So keep in mind, I wrote this like in 2017 or something. I would like to start in March of 2018. Where exactly do you want to construct this mall? In the LA suburbs. I haven't chosen the precise suburb yet, but I know I want it to be in the suburbs in order for there to be plenty of room. I want this to be a giant mall. A giant mall? Precisely how big of a mall are you proposing to build? You said you were willing to invest in my project, did you not? Yes, we did. We probably should have asked more about the specifics, however, such as how big it's going to be. This mall is going to be colossal. Tentatively speaking, I would like it to be 4 square miles. 4 square miles. Do you realize how huge that is, Steve? Yes, I do. Steve, a typical mall is only about, I'd say, 4 square blocks. There's not enough room for 4 square miles. Oh, yes, there is. There is. Tell me how that is remotely possible, Steve. We've gotten a lot of the residents in the suburbs of LA to agree to live in the mall. These residents love the mall so much that they would like to live there. We'll just demolish their houses and they can live in the mall. Where will they sleep? They'll sleep in American mattress on the beds in there. This is really bizarre, Steve. I can hardly believe LA residents are willing to sacrifice their houses to live in a mall just so you can build a giant mall in LA? Well, believe it, Jack. How much will this mall cost, all told? Approximately $90 billion. $90 billion? That seems like a lot, even for a mall that is 4 square miles. Explain to me how it is that this mall will cost $90 billion. Well, there is something very special about this mall. Here's one that costs $90 billion. Other than the fact that it is 4 square miles. Yeah, what's that? In the center of the mall, there is a reverse gravity thrust propagation device that will send you to Planet Jondique. It's a platform upon which gravity is reversed. The way gravity works, according to the theories of Albert Einstein, is that objects in space that are always falling toward each other never really do because of the warping of time and space. The Earth pulls the moon toward it through its gravity, but the moon never really reaches the Earth because the time and space between the Earth and the moon are warped. This phenomenon explains the mechanism of gravity. I've invented a device that unwarps time and space in a selected space on the surface of the Earth. When you're standing on a specific space on the surface of the Earth, you will ascend into space. The time and space of a specific location is unwarped by removing all the matter in that location except for dark matter. By having strictly dark matter manipulated in a certain way, there will be no warping of time and space in that place. Yes, Steve, I'm sure it would cost a lot to design something like that. I'll invest, but I'll see you. That's great, Steve. That worked out. I'm glad we'll be able to build your mall. So am I, Winona. Hey, Mike, do you and Winona want to come back to my condo for a celebratory dinner? Yes, Steve. I would love to go. Do you want to go, Winona? Yes, let's go, Mike. Will Daryl be there, Steve? Now, Daryl's mad at me. What happened, Steve? Well, I was at home watching Sex and the City with Daryl, and all of a sudden, in the middle of an episode, the whole narrative of the story stopped. Sarah Jessica Parker looked right at me from the TV screen and said, "I was supposed to be your love interest in Mike's rewrite of LA's story." I was your love interest in the original LA story. How could you, Steve? How did that happen? How did Sarah Jessica Parker stop right in the middle of an episode of Sex and the City and speak to you? They were filming Sex and the City live. In the middle of a scene, somebody told Sarah Jessica Parker about how we are filming a remake of LA Story and how Daryl Hannah is going to be my love interest. Sarah got really mad, believing herself to be the appropriate choice for the role. She looked right at me through my television and threatened me. She said she's coming after me, Winona. Sarah Jessica Parker is coming after me. It's terrible, Steve. Mike and I will protect you. It's great to see a beautiful romance. Mike Meyer and Winona Ryder, I'm glad that's working out. I'll meet you for dinner, but I'll see you. So that was some of my LA Story rewrite. I'll see you soon.